Oh, hey, it's Steak here. It's the Monday after championship weekend. And I whiffed on my picks. I picked Niners-Ravens. We've got Giants-Patriots. But in my defense, what I will say is that those games were close. And they could have gone either way. I mean, quite honestly, were it not for some egregious errors by Lee Evans, Billy Cundiff, and Kyle Williams, we could very well be talking right now about the Harbaugh Bowl. But it just was not meant to be. And that's fine. I mean, you take a look at that Ravens game. The Ravens had every opportunity to win, and mistakes killed them. I mean, I've said this, and I've said this many, many times on the air. I said it this last weekend, or this last week, when I was down there in Australia, and I did the show with KB, that mistakes and turnovers can kill a team. You've got two pretty evenly matched teams in the playoffs, and oftentimes it's the mistake that gives one team the edge. So in the event, or in that Ravens game, Evans catches, or has what should be a touchdown catch, and he drops it, just bam, bah. Terrible, terrible. And then Cundiff has an opportunity to put the thing into overtime, and he shanks a 32-yard field goal. How do you shank a 32-yard field goal? That's between the ears, man. That's not technique. That's completely between the ears. I feel bad for the guy, but we've seen the last of Billy Cundiff in a Baltimore Ravens uniform. That's the type of thing where you make that mistake as a kicker, you're gone. Is it fair, really, to put all that pressure on a kicker, and if the guy doesn't get the job done, that he loses his job? Yeah, probably is. That's the NFL. It's brutal, man. Brutal. So that Niner game, you know what? The defense played so freaking well. They really, really did. Because Eli Manning, Eli Manning has been great. Great this year. Outside of all the lofty numbers that we've seen from Aaron Rodgers and from Drew Brees, Eli has been the best. He really has. Eli Manning is so clutch. He is such a tough son of a bitch. He got hit all over the place. He'd get up, his chin strap was over his nose, and the helmet's bent sideways. He's got blood in his mouth. He's crap all over his jersey. He's a tough, tough guy, and he doesn't get enough credit. He's better than his brother. He really is. But Kyle Williams muffed 2 punts, and that was the difference in the game. That led to 10 points for the Giants, and what we saw is the 49ers, who all season long won those kind of games because they won the turnover battle. In the most important game of the year, they didn't win it, and they lost the game. It purely was not meant to be. And I hate to say it, but there's always next year. I mean, it sucks to say it, but really, Niner fans, you had a great year. I mean, an amazing year. Who the hell thought that in his first year, Jim Harbaugh was going to take that team to the NFC Championship game? Nobody outside of that locker room believed this was possible. They really didn't. If they're telling you they did, they're lying. And then you look at the Ravens. The Ravens had a pretty good year too. So both those teams will be back next year. Looking forward to the Super Bowl. You've got the Giants, the Patriots. You've got a rematch of Super Bowl 42, which was an epic game. I was there. Many of you may have seen the debacle on TV where I did my sideline report and I had the microphone way up here. Because here's the deal. Nobody told me that, hey man, I know you've never done TV before, but you can hold the microphone right here. Let us see your face and everything will be fine. So I'm thinking, I get into this University of Phoenix Stadium. It was freaking loud. And I'm down there, and I'm nervous as can be, right? Because I've never done this before. I mean, I'd done acting, I'd done radio, but I'd never done live TV. So the NFL guy goes, "You ready to go? Do you have your equipment?" And I go, "I don't have any equipment. SBS didn't give me anything." So I'm like, well, here we go. And so I had to use some guy's BlackBerry tucked into my back pocket, true story, and the earpiece hooked over my ear like that. So I'm sitting there, and I go, oh, damn, it's so loud in here, I better pull this thing up. So I've got the microphone up here, and then I can't hear Ed Wyatt, who's on the other line. I can't hear what Ed's saying, so I'm like ad-libbing, you know, and I'm just dying. But anyway, I got through that, and then I went upstairs, and I had a beer, and I watched one of the most exciting games ever. And I think that this game has potential to be as equally exciting. You've got two phenomenal offenses, two great quarterbacks. I have to go with the Giants, though. I just think the Giants are the better team right now. And there's something to be said for the hot team coming into the playoffs. I mean, you look at the Giants in 2007. They got hot down the stretch, won road games, got to the Super Bowl, and punked the Patriots and stopped them from having an undefeated season. And then last year, the Packers went on the road. They beat Philadelphia, they beat Atlanta, they beat the Bears, and then they beat the Steelers in Super Bowl 45. So this year, same story. Giants won that first game at home, went into Green Bay last week. Often thought it was the toughest place in the NFL to play and to win a game, especially in the playoffs when the weather's inclement. And then went out to San Francisco and beat a very good 49er team. So I like the Giants. I really do. Now tomorrow you can catch me. I'll be on KB at about 11 o'clock, and I'll speak to you then. Thanks for tuning in.